Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and the presentation of the colors, and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Staff Sergeant Joanna Griffin from the United States Air Force Band of Flight. Honor Guard, present the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Staff Sergeant Joanna Griffin. At this time, we invite the chaplain to come forward to offer the invocation.
Please join with me in prayer, if you will. Almighty God, as we begin this promotion and assumption of command ceremony, we first and foremost lift up to you all from our community who are recovering from the devastating storms and tornadoes of this past Monday evening. Many had homes and businesses damaged or even completely destroyed. We pray for healing and comfort in the loss, and we are also grateful for first responders who answered the call and for all who have worked long hours to restore power and remove debris. We pray a special blessing on all who have volunteered and continue to step up to help and make a difference in lives through the ongoing recovery. Lord, we are grateful today for Lieutenant General Arnold W. Bunch, Jr. as he is promoted to general and assumes command. We pray for him as he takes on this new leadership responsibility. Give him a full measure of your wisdom as he makes decisions. May your strength be his strength as he carries the weight of this command on his shoulders. And realizing that he cannot do this alone, I also lift up to you every member of Air Force Materiel Command, for together we make the mission happen every day. We are grateful today for General Bunch's family. Bless his wife, Caroline, as she continues to stand with General Bunch. We are thankful for this team, and we pray for them as they come among us. Bless their son, Arnie, and his wife, Megan, and daughter, Emmeline. Bless also their son, Louis, and his fiancée, Liz. We are grateful for this entire family, both those who are with us in person and those who are joining us by way of live feed. Now, Lord, bless this ceremony and this celebration and all who have a part in it, for it is in your holy name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Rummage. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to take this opportunity to recognize the family members of General Bunch in attendance today. We ask that you please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. His wife, Caroline, his son, Arnold W. Bunch III, and his wife, Megan, and his granddaughter, Emmeline, his son, Louis Bunch, and his fiancée, Liz Romes, his uncle, J.E. Bunch, and we'd also like to recognize his mother, Brenda, and his in-laws, Bud and Sarah Jones, who can't be with us today, but are listening via live feed back in the great state of Tennessee. We also welcome our distinguished guest, Interim Commander, Air Force Materiel Command, and Commander, Air Force Lifecycle Management Center, Lieutenant General Robert McMurray and his wife, Dee. Deputy Commander, Air Force Materiel Command, Major General Carl Schaefer and his wife, Pauline. Executive Director, Air Force Materiel Command, Ms. Trish Young. Command Chief, the Air Force Materiel Command, Chief Master Sergeant Stan Cadell and his wife, Rhonda. The Honorable Will Roper, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics. The Honorable John Henderson, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Installations, Environment, and Energy. And the Honorable Alan Estevez, former Principal Deputy Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics. And to all other distinguished guests, to include commanders, chiefs, colleagues, both past and present, civic leaders, government officials, family and friends, many who have traveled great distances to be here today. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce General David L. Goldfein.
Well, good afternoon. What a beautiful setting for airmen. Well, welcome to this time-honored tradition where we promote General Arnold Bunch to the rank of general and make him the 9th commander of Air Force Materiel Command. And can we all join hands and say, finally? Hallelujah. So perhaps the happiest man here today is the man who's been leading the charge for the past several months as acting commander, Lieutenant General Robert McMurray and his incredible bride, Dee. Robert and Dee, you've done a marvelous job, and Dawn and I have really enjoyed working with you in these past months. And I want to say on behalf of the over 80,000 civilian active guard and reserve airmen under your steady hand, thank you. Well done. To our civilian and our uniformed airmen and our contractor workforce, thank you for being the magicians of our Air Force. You know, keeping a fleet with an average age of 28 years airborne is nothing short of magic. And the work that goes on in this command across acquisition, test, logistics, and our research and development labs and specialized centers is mind-boggling. Yesterday, if you listened to the graduation ceremony and heard the President's speech, he mentioned, and I quote, "We have things under development, the likes of which you've never seen, the likes of which you can't even conceive." And when he said that, I immediately thought of this command, and especially our research labs, and all the incredible magic that is truly changing the game in joint warfare. And I could not be prouder to serve with you as your chief. To our elected leadership, our civic leaders from all across AFMC bases, and members of the greater Dayton community, thank you for taking care of our airmen and families so we can take care of the mission. Since Wright Field and Patterson Field merged into a single installation in January of 1948, we've been part of the fabric of your communities. Our children go to your schools. Our spouses work and volunteer in your businesses, in schools, and in churches. And you welcome us with open arms. And as the chaplain mentioned, with the recent tornado on Memorial Day, the partnerships and the community spirit built here showcased its strength. The base and the community volunteer turnout demonstrated our shared commitment to the health, the safety, and the welfare of airmen and their families. Within 24 hours, Wright-Pat's roads were cleared and electricity was restored. Team Wright-Pat standard. You know, coming back to Dayton is an airman's equivalent to a pilgrimage to Mecca. Coming home to the place where two bicycle mechanics, tinkerers in their bike shop, defied the odds to build a heavier-than-air machine. And last week, Dr. Roper and I attended a conference at the Hoover Institute to talk about how to build better relationships between Silicon Valley and the Department of Defense. And it was kind of fun to tell them, you see, I'm the chief of the only service that's a garage startup. The legacy of tinkering and innovation that started in Dayton lives on in today's Air Force. And a special welcome to the family and the friends of the Bunch family. We're so glad you all made the journey to the Buckeye State. It's an honor to share this day with you to celebrate the 9th time this guidon has been formally handed over since Air Force Materiel Command stood up on 1 July 1992. And to see a 4th star pinned on one of our best airmen and our finest leaders. And I know it means the world to Arnie and Caroline that you're here. And how truly American is it that this ceremony also serves as a Morristown, Tennessee family reunion with its very own hometown celebrity. So I'm told that the announcement of Arnie's promotion made the top half of the fold in the local Morristown newspaper. And so I'm hoping today produces the same coverage and the same deserved pride in your hometown hero. So I also want to thank Arnie and Caroline for this opportunity, because I truly believe it's one of the highest honors you can have as an officer to be asked to officiate at the promotion or the retirement of a fellow officer. And it's especially an honor to do this for an extraordinary leader and a friend that I admire. So one of my jobs today is to slow the world down for you both. Because while this day has been a long time in coming, the time frame from confirmation to ceremony is just a tad short. And I'm sure arriving in your new home just in time to weather a tornado in the bathroom didn't help. So let's just take a deep breath and relax and enjoy this ceremony for a few moments. Because there is nothing going on in our Air Force that's more important than what we're doing right here and right now. And Arnie, I'm sure that your dad, Arnold, the first, is smiling down at you. And he's probably still thanking his lucky stars for the chance he took trading in your college funds for a 17.5-foot bass boat after you received your appointment to the Air Force Academy. And without a doubt, he's looking down and saying to his friends upstairs, "That's my darn kid." And although your mother, Brenda, was unable to make it here today, without a doubt, your success and who you are as a man, a father, a husband, and a leader are shared by her and your dad. As they lived the American dream and taught both you and your sister, Kim, that life is a competition and it requires you to work hard. And to the center of Arnie and Caroline's universe are their sons, Arnie the third and Lewis. Your father's not shy about expressing his pride in you both. In fact, he shared with me that the proudest moment in his life was when the two of you were born. And like all military kids, you don't receive enough thanks for your service, as you resiliently moved around the country with your parents, especially to remote bases like Edwards and other unique locations where we test the latest technology in relative secrecy. To Caroline, Arnie's diehard UT fan and bride, Arnie shared that you are still out of his league. And ever since he first saw you at Hillcrest Elementary as the tallest cheerleader and him as the shortest point guard, and like Dawn, who's on Nana duty and wishes she could be here as a military spouse, you represent a very special kind of courage. And during the long hours, the hardships, the separations, and very often we don't talk about enough the loneliness that comes with this military service. Thank you for not only being the glue that holds together Team Bunch, but also for how you embrace spouses networks everywhere you've been. And congratulations to both of you on celebrating your 35th year of marriage in just a couple weeks. Congratulations. So with each change of leadership, we cement the historic legacy of this storied command. Innovation is the warfighter's edge. And since our birth as a service, it has defined us as a technologically advanced organization. AFMC's roots go back to 1917. And as true now as it was then, this command is the core of our technological superiority, delivering the lifeblood of our force, full spectrum, agile combat support. And this command continues to push the envelope with the same can-do spirit of innovation that the Wright brothers inspired. You juggle the roles of researcher, buyer, builder, fielder, maintainer, and sustainer. And you do this not just for the technology side of the house, you also touch all of our military construction projects and support our warfighters with beds and beans and bullets and base defense. Here are just a few of this command's accomplishments in just the past 9 months under the steady hand of Lieutenant General McMurray. This amazing team has been leading hiring improvements for our Air Force, leveraging virtual hiring tools to recruit the next generation of civilians, onboarding new magicians, almost 38% faster than the traditional hiring process. The team also took on the challenge and executed the Air Force's inaugural Small Business Innovative Research Pitch Day, which lowered barriers to entry, resulting in the astounding award of 51 contracts in what one small business owner described as less time than it takes to order a beer in New York City. And this team stood up 2 advanced technology training centers, focused on additive manufacturing, robotics, and artificial intelligence. The magicians of AFMC. America sleeps well at night because of you. If our adversaries knew what you were working on, they'd be afraid. They'd be very afraid. And when I think about them and what they would face as you accelerate your ideas from the lab bench to the flight line and the launch pad, I reflect on the great American philosopher, Mr. T, who rightly said, "I pity the fools." And that brings us to our man of honor this afternoon, Lieutenant General Arnie Bunch. This is usually the time in a ceremony when I start reciting his career, beginning with he was born at an early age. But instead, I'm just going to share some of the greatest hits that highlight why I believe he's the perfect leader to take on Air Force Materiel Command on this day. As I alluded to earlier, working hard is nothing foreign to Arnie. Although some argue that perhaps he may have applied it to the wrong subject in high school, where he was told he'd never amount to anything because he was too focused on sports and not enough on academics. He initially joined our ranks to get an education, but the outstanding airmen he's had the privilege to serve with and work for taught him what a difference one person can make in the lives of others. And it's been an unforgettable ride for the boy who had never been west of Nashville, let alone on an airplane, until he left for college at the Air Force Academy as a member of the class of '84. At pilot training, Army graduated near the top of his class and drew a mighty B-52, the backbone of our strike capacity. After initial training, the bunch is headed to Fairchild Air Force Base. And for a young first lieutenant aircraft commander, it was the epitome of empowerment and trust, with his very own crew of 5 lieutenants and a master sergeant pulling nuclear alert. But Arnie was hungry for more, and he applied for and was selected for our prestigious test pilot school. He became the Flight Test Center's only triple qualified test pilot in the KC-135, the T-38, and the B-2. In fact, he was only the 28th person to fly the B-2, testing new weapons drops, software loads, and terrain following radar. Arnie is no stranger to AFMC. He's worked the testing life cycle, the personnel side a bit, and he led the command's historic reorganization a handful of years ago. He's built a long line of firsts over his career, like the in-flight firing of an airborne laser, the flight test of the F-35 and the RQ-4 Blocks 20 and 30, and of course an X-37 recovery after it separated and ran off the end of the runway. We're so glad you survived that one. In his recent role at the Pentagon, Arnie drove the successful execution of over 450 Air Force major defense acquisition programs. His leadership has been key in tackling acquisition reform and bringing the future faster, getting capability and capacity to the warfighter at the speed of relevance. In under 1 year, working with Dr. Roper, the team stripped over 100 years from our acquisition process. But above all, Arnie's best known to foster genuine teamwork and share his Air Force pride. Whether he's donning a chef's hat and delivering ice cream to airmen on the flight line, or stopping for a few minutes to talk to a family, walking through the E-ring at the Pentagon, and handing out some Air Force temporary tattoos to their unsuspecting kids, he makes everyone truly feel like they're part of our Air Force family. And now he's come full circle, as this will be Arnie and Caroline's 4th assignment here at Wright-Pat and their 7th command tour. Welcome back. Arnie, all of your experience as an officer and as a leader coupled with your unparalleled passion for people, are why you are the perfect choice to become the commander responsible for delivering agile, cost-effective, war-winning capabilities to the warfighter so that we can compete, deter, and win any place and any time. You know, as general officers, we have one moral obligation that we must fulfill. We must ensure that every airman that we send in harm's way is properly organized, trained, equipped, and courageously led so that they can go forward and do our nation's business and come home to their families who we have taken care of while they're gone. Everything else, we do the best we can. That one, we've got to get right. In a few moments, Arnie, you're going to raise your right hand and reaffirm the oath of office. The same oath you took 35 years ago when you pinned on your first rank. The words are as powerful today as they ever have been. And just as you have throughout your career, you will recommit yourself to well and faithfully discharge your sacred duty as a four-star general in the United States Air Force. There have been only 219 four-star generals in the history of our service. You are 220. And only 13 four-star generals are serving today out of 685,000 total force airmen. So number 14, this is a really big deal. In a few moments, I'm going to hand you this command's colors, and you will utter the best 4 words in an airman's vocabulary. Sir, I assume command. But I want you to know that you and Caroline do not take on this challenge alone. Dawn and I and everyone here are on your wing and will support you and this incredible team every step of the way. And we look forward to watching this command grow and prosper under your steady hand. At the end of the day, our duty as commanders is to take the greatest treasure in our nation's arsenal, our civilian and uniformed airmen, and mold them and train them and pair them with the best technology on the planet to make our world a better place for our children and for our grandchildren. It's our calling, and it's sacred duty. So I'll close with my favorite quote on command that comes from a former chief, General John Jumper, who said, "It's truly an honor to be selected for command in our Air Force. Our charge every day is to be worthy of that honor. May God bless our great nation and the great magicians of Air Force Materiel Command who have sworn to defend her." Now let's make it official. Thank you.
Thank you, General Goldfein. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the publishing of the promotion order.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Lieutenant General Arnold W. Bunch, Jr. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Lieutenant General Bunch is promoted to the grade of General, United States Air Force, under Title 10, United States Code, Section 601, effective the 31st day of May 2019, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. General Bunch will now have his new rank pinned on by his wife, Caroline, and his sons, Arnie and Louis. The pinning portion of today's ceremony is a tradition which highlights the significance of the first time a higher rank is placed on the uniform. The star is the oldest continually used rank in the United States military. The use of the star to signify the rank of a general officer can be traced to a June 1780 decree by General George Washington during the War of the American Independence. It is believed that General Washington chose the star as a symbol of general officer rank in honor of its use by the Allied French Armed Forces. It is customary for family members or close friends to participate in the pinning ceremony to recognize their contributions to the promotee's success in achieving the higher rank. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Goldfein, will you now administer the oath of office? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, General Bunch will be presented with his new personal colors. Honor Guard, post. Throughout the history of warfare, a general officer's personal flag symbolized leadership on the battlefield. The Air Force has incorporated the use of flags to signify the presence of a general officer. This flag will be present at all official military functions and will also be visibly displayed in General Bunch's office. Ladies and gentlemen, General Arnold W. Bunch, Jr. We will now proceed with the assumption of command. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Goldfein, would you please join General Bunch center stage? Attention orders. The Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Alpha Alpha Golf 040, dated 24 May 2019. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force, Heather A. Wilson, General Arnold W. Bunch Jr. will assume command of Air Force Materiel Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, effective 31 May 2019. Signed, Heather A. Wilson, Secretary of the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to welcome our Commander of Air Force Materiel Command, General Arnold W. Bunch, Jr.
Thanks, everybody. Please have a seat, relax, make yourselves comfortable. I'd love to tell you this is going to go quick, but that would be a lie, and I don't need to start off with that. So I got way too many people I need to thank today. First, let me start with a very important thing. For the members of this community that are still suffering through the loss, and we're trying to get power back on, and we got families that are displaced and they've lost their homes and all of that, our thoughts and prayers are with you. As the Chief said, our airmen live in these communities. We're part of the fabric of these communities. You all take great care of us, and the response has been great. And while we're celebrating today, this is a really big day for my family and for, I believe, Air Force Materiel Command. We realize there's other things going on, and we need to keep that in our thoughts and prayers. So for all those families that are out there, we're thinking about you, we're praying for you, and all those community leaders that are trying to get everything back up and running, thanks for your support, thanks for all that great work, and we're working together, and thanks. Okay, so we're going to see how I do this. I'll probably leave some folks out. I'll just apologize now for the people that I skip over. It's not intentional. I just just won't be able to remember everybody I got to say thank you to. So to everybody, thank you. That pretty much covers everything there, so I got it right. You can already tell I'm a little bit excited about this opportunity because I've already screwed the script up twice to the Chief. Not a good way to start, but you got to laugh at yourself, and I'm excited to be doing this. If you don't feel a little bit of passion out of this, apologies. You're missing something along the way here. Mr. Estevez, sir, thank you very much. The Honorable Henderson, thank you very much. The Honorable Roper, Will, I told you I would say that when I finally pinned it on. Thank you all for being here and being the leaders that you are. To our industry partners, to the community leaders, to the elected officials and the representatives, thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy day to be a part of this. It means the world to us that you're able to be here. You do things for us. We have to partner. We have to work together, and it's great that you're here to be able to do this, and we greatly, greatly appreciate it. And Caroline and I look forward to continuing those partnerships with the community leaders, and I look forward to continuing the partnership with all of you. So thank you all for being here and taking the time out. Chaplain Rummage, thank you very much. Very well done. Appreciate that. By the way, if all my classmates that are here from the academy are kind of chuckling because they know the full Arnold W. Bunch Jr. gig is only for my mom when she was torqued at me, so that's why they're all chuckling behind you back here. But great job. Staff Sergeant Griffin and the Air Force Band of Flight, thank you all very much. Fantastic job, really appreciate it. Colonel Johns, thank you for being our narrator. You have an accent like mine, you never get asked to narrate, so I always have a special place in my heart for people that can do that and actually pronounce all the names, which is something else that I can't do. Tech Sergeant Orteleus, thank you for being our proffer today. Really appreciate it. For all the volunteers, an event like this, I mean, we got lieutenant colonels and majors out directing traffic. I'm hoping they were volunteers and not voluntold. But for all of you that have served as escorts and everything else, thanks. It takes a whole team to pull something like this off. And I really appreciate you taking the time and doing it and making my family and I feel very, very special today. Honor Guard, thank you. You all bring a special touch of class to everything that we do. You, in many cases, are the last view and the last remembrance of a grieving family. And you serve that role as volunteers, and you represent us so positively each and every day. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for being here today and making it extra special for us. Mr. Tillotson, thanks for the museum. You and your team have done a great job. I can't think of a better venue to try to have a ceremony and to be here to celebrate. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. And I know they closed some of the displays off to get everybody in. We'll open up later, and hopefully some of you can get around and look at all the great things that are here. It's just a mecca. This one's a big thank you. This is to the protocol team. Okay? Last Thursday, not yesterday, but a week ago Thursday, at about 18:30-ish, we got confirmed. Friday was a family day. Monday was a holiday. They pulled this together. So to the whole protocol team, Vicki, you and your team and everybody else, you've treated, we've had the networks go down with the tornado. We've been doing things on the phone. We're kind of crazy people, so we've been doing all kinds of calls and asked for things. To the whole team, thank you. You all have done a remarkable job and made it very memorable for my family and I, and we really, really greatly appreciate all that extra effort that you put into it. We appreciate it. Okay. Chief, thanks for honoring us by being here today and presiding. You made the amount of attention to detail and the effort that you put into it makes it special for my family. And I've done a ceremony or two myself, and I know what the prep to do that is, and I know what your schedule's like. Thank you very much for making them feel welcome, making them feel a part of what we've done in the service, and making it extra special for us and for being here today. We greatly appreciate it. Back to you, sir, and Secretary Wilson. Thank you for entrusting Caroline and I with this responsibility. We are honored to be able to serve as the leadership team of this great command. We went to Senior Statesman a while back, and for those that don't know what Senior Statesman is, all the retired four-stars are invited in, and I got the honor and privilege, because I was the longest-serving military deputy in AQ they've ever had, to get the opportunity to brief those senior statesmen 4 times. And as I briefed them this time and I looked out and talked to them, there were 5 previous AFMC commanders sitting in the room. And all I could think about was that legacy and what we were stepping into to carry forward. And I just want to say thank you for entrusting us with that opportunity. We welcome it. We will pour our hearts and souls into this mission, into the men and women that make it happen, and we'll do everything to earn that commander title each and every day. Thank you for that trust. Okay. General Polakowski. General Polakowski's not here, but I still got a shout out to her. She did a great job as the AFMC commander. She picked up where General Wolfenbarger left off and did just even more and put it on a more upward trajectory. General Polakowski, thank you for that. It's a great team, remarkable accomplishments, and we know we're inheriting a great team, and we look forward to building off of that. Robert and Dee. We weren't sure how long you were going to be in this role. Probably get it a little longer than you thought. Robert with his 7-star cranium cover that he had in the office, because he was both the AFMC commander and the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center commander, and doing both those jobs at the same time. And Dee for being the senior spouse for both of those huge organizations at the same time as well. Robert, you kept the command on a great trajectory. We know we're stepping into a great team. We got great leadership sitting up here in the front. And thank you for keeping it going the right way and making it run. And Dee, okay, somebody's got to help me here. I don't know which ones are which. Help me with which ones I'm supposed to have now. Thank you. So for Dee, a small token of appreciation for you being the senior spouse for all that period of time. Thank you, and job well done. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I got a bit of a problem, because I look out and I see so many faces that have contributed to where we're at today and shaped what we are as a Air Force family, that I want to just step through everyone, but I know I'll forget somebody, and I know we'd be here forever, so we're not going to do that. So everybody can breathe easier. I'm not going to make you stay that long. So I'm going to pull out an example, and hopefully you'll be able to track this, and I'll be able to relay how I kind of think about all of you all. Tony Zompetti. Tony Zompetti retired as a colonel out of the Air Force and is now a civilian airman, still working for us. Lieutenant Colonel Zompetti was Major Bunch's boss when he worked in the B-1 program office. Lieutenant Colonel Zompetti decided that when Lieutenant Colonel promotion recommendations came up, that he was going to go to battle for me to get considered for below the zone promotion. The easy answer for Tony would have been, I don't need to go do that, it's not worth my time, I don't need to go fight with all the other program offices to try to get this one person promoted. He could have very easily chaffed that off and not worried about it, and no one would have ever said a word. The easy thing would have been to give a promote, and not. That wasn't what Tony did. Tony put on his full armor and went into battle. And he lobbied with the Aeronautical Systems Center staff, and he lobbied with General Bon Jovi, and I ended up getting that definitely promote. And as a result of that, and Tony's perseverance and commitment to taking care of a single airman, I ended up making Lieutenant Colonel 2 years below the zone, and I ended up having doors open and opportunities that I would have never been able to seize or walk through become available. Tony, I see you back there. I've been trying to pay this forward ever since then. Thank you for the example you set and the leader that you still are today. Caroline and I thank you, and we wouldn't have been here without you. I can do that with almost each and every one of you. And I pray that you all understand how much you being here and the role that you've played for us means to Caroline and I. And we greatly appreciate the mentoring, the leadership, the personal touch of a job, a phone call at a critical time. All of you have contributed to that, and we're very, very thankful. And that's the way I get away from trying to talk about all the senior leaders and messing it up and making somebody mad because I didn't talk about them. So thank you all for that. Greatly appreciate it. Tony, you're the example for everybody. Okay, for everybody that traveled, this is way more than Caroline and I thought we were going to be able to pull off given the short notice. And we got people that have come from Washington, we got them from Maine, we got California, we got everywhere around that people have dropped and come here to be part of this. It absolutely means the world to us that you're here with us. We sincerely appreciate it, and your presence makes it even more special for us today as we celebrate all of these things. I got classmates from high school. I got classmates from the Colorado School for Wayward Boys and Girls, which, by the way, 35 years ago yesterday, we walked across the stage and shook hands with President Reagan as we were commissioned. Timing is amazing. I got classmates from pilot training. I got classmates from test pilot school. I got people that have been at almost every assignment. You honor us with your attendance today. It means a ton. Now, I will tell you, the majority of those people are here because they don't really believe this is happening, and they thought it was a hoax. You don't go to the test pilot school and sit in what was affectionately referred to as moron row and end up being the 4-star. That's not what they thought. But so, that is reality and how it's played out. So for all of you, thank you for working with us over the years and helping us do what we've been able to do and serve this nation. It's been an honor and a privilege. To the folks from Morristown, we are still proud Morristonians and Tennesseans. The chief once told me on the golf course, he said, if you didn't wear that orange shirt every Saturday, I'm not sure I'd know who you were when we come out here and play. So we are very much still fans of home. We thank you for making the trip up here. We thank you for creating a community that was very supportive of us and allowed us to grow and nurture and be able to do the things that we've done. And it's still home. So thank everybody that's come up here to do that. We greatly appreciate it. And for those that are leaving as soon as the ceremony's over, please drive safely, because I know we got a few of those that are batting out of here as soon as we get done. Okay. To the extended family, thank you. We have led a more nomadic life than probably most of the folks back home. We're the weirdos that moved away still in a lot of people's eyes back home. Thank you for helping out on the family front. Thank you for carrying the load in some times that we've not been able to be there. Thank you for understanding when we're not there for the family reunion or we're not there for some anniversary. We could not do this without that support network at home. Thank you very much for doing that and allowing us to continue to serve. Okay, I got to go more direct family here. So Buddy and June Ann, that's Caroline's brother and my brother and sister-in-law. I know you couldn't be here. I know you're here in spirit. Thanks for everything you do at home, taking care of the home front and Bud and Sarah. We appreciate it, and you've made it easy for us to continue to serve. We greatly appreciate it, and thank you. My sister Kim and her husband Hall. Kim had knee surgery replacement just last week, and until my brother-in-law's mother fell yesterday and broke a collarbone, she was still going to try to sneak her way up here to be here, but she couldn't do it. So hopefully she's watching on live stream. Yep, it's your older brother, and yep, I'm as bald as Dad was. I love you. Your ability to carry a lot of that, the activities and things that we do on the home front has allowed us to continue to serve. I love you and I'm proud of you. That's about all I need to say. Okay, Bud and Sarah. We think we've got family members with them live streaming this, so we hope that's working out. If not, I'm sure they'll see it later. I'm pretty sure you didn't realize where this journey was going to go when your daughter and I started dating. Thank you for allowing me to steal her away. She is way better than I am. But thank you for allowing me to steal her away from Morristown. Thank you for the support that you've given us over the years by showing up when kids were born or family emergencies happened so that I could do things like pull nuclear alert while my son was being born in the hospital. I did get out to be at the birth, but then I had to go back on. But you all made that easy, and you supported us, and you made it possible. We know you're here in spirit. We love you. Thank you very much. Mom. Mom called this morning. We had a little talk. She got a little teary-eyed. So, Mom, I love you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for teaching me values. Thank you for teaching me empathy and compassion. And thank you for being the stabilizing force in the family, because much to the chagrin of many of the people here, outside of my mom, I'm the calm one of the four. That should scare some people about life in the Bunch household growing up. But I love you. I know you wish you could be here, but you're in my thoughts and prayers daily, and hopefully you're getting to watch it. I got to talk for a minute about somebody that's not here. So they're here in spirit, and I hope that he's looking down. Monday marked the 5-year anniversary of my father passing. And for anybody that came to the 1-star pin on, you probably saw me take my commander pin off and give it to my father, because he taught me leadership more than anybody. Many of the people up here have polished it a little bit, worked it around the edges, but the old man ingrained it. If I have a work ethic, if I have the ability to be passionate about what I want to do, if I have the ability to be competitive and how to interact with people, Dad ingrained it in me. And he was always the one that had more confidence in what I was going to be able to do and my ability than I ever did. He actually asked General Wolfenbarger if she was going to pin my 3rd star on when I got my 2nd star pinned on. And I'd been telling Caroline since we made colonel there were never going to be any more promotions. It's done. So I know he's watching down. I hope he's smiling, and I hope he's proud. So, okay, to the family, immediate family right up front. I need Lewis, and I need Liz. No, I need that one, and I need that one. So Lewis, son, for you and Liz, we're very proud of you all. They got engaged just recently. That's going to happen in October. We're very happy for that. We're happy to have you. Sit down. You're not standing up yet. You're mature. You're not that mature quite yet. Liz, we welcome you into the family. I know this is a little foreign to you. You've not been doing all these over the years that we have. Hopefully you learn a little bit about what you're marrying into. Hopefully you won't run away now once you learn a little more of it. But I'm glad you were able to make it up. I know it's been a struggle with your residency that you're doing down in Murfreesboro. We're really happy that you're able to be here. Please accept this small token from us for that. Thank you very much. So, Lewis, I love you more than right now you can imagine. Your mom and I are very proud of what the man you've matured into. I thank you for all the moves and all the support and all the craziness that goes with it and allowing us to continue to serve. And we're just really proud of you, son. Arnie, Megan, and Emmeline. So we love you both dearly. We are very glad that you are a key part of our family, young lady. And Arnie, you may understand how much I love you because of her. Until you have one of those, you can't understand how much you can love a son or a daughter until you have your own. You are a great couple. We are very proud of everything that you all are doing. We are even more proud of the parents that you are, and you make us smile because, quite frankly, you both are so much better than I have ever been as a parent that it is beyond comprehension. So for you all, Megan, thank you very much, young lady. Okay. For Mrs. Bunch, or Caroline, or Sink House, or the spousal unit, you will hear me refer to her in all of those attributes somewhere along the way. That's the way it kind of goes for us. I'm pretty sure, babe, when we went on that first date on the 17th of March and started going steady on the 20th of March of 1979, that you weren't really sure where this journey was going to go because we've been together ever since that time frame. And as General Goldfein said, 35 years is next month. And you've been a true blessing. You have fulfilled the role of great mother and done very well with both of the boys. I don't take a whole lot of credit for that. I give you the credit for that. You are a great commander's spouse. The command is very fortunate to get you into that role, and you will do a fantastic job. She is the one that keeps me very grounded. She informed everyone last night that this event for me is sort of okay, but the real value of it is Emmeline is here. And she even asked today when we got to go get our new ID card if they needed to put powder on my forecranium so that the shine would not blur out the camera and they could get an effective picture. So, I spend a great deal of my life on what I call the WAP. That is the Wife Appeasement Plan. And that is for all of the things that I have forgotten to do or done that were not what I should have done. And I am pretty sure that finding out you are confirmed on Thursday and leaving in a trailer on Saturday and PCSing to another base has pretty well indebted me onto that WAP program even more. So I know that this is nowhere near the payoff that I need to give you. But babe, I love you. You're the bedrock of the family. You're way better than I am and ever will be. And I could only do this command tour with you being by my side. I thank you for allowing us to continue to serve. The Air Force is better for you serving alongside of me, and I love you. I'm going to hand it to him so you don't have to wake the baby up. Okay. To the men and women of Air Force Materiel Command. You already kind of got a sense that I was excited when I screwed up the script with the boss twice already. I'll be quite honest, I have not gotten the greatest sleep the last couple of nights. That's not because I'm worried about anything. That's because I am so excited to get this opportunity. Caroline and I cannot put into words how happy, thrilled, elated that we are to get the opportunity to serve alongside and work for all of the outstanding airmen of Air Force Materiel Command. It is a coming home for me, Chief. It is a coming home. And it is an unbelievable mission that we have. This command, and you, the men and women, you're the foundation that all this is built on. This command is the most important MAGCOM in the United States Air Force to achieve the national defense strategy, to get the Air Force that we need, and to ensure that we remain the world's most dominant Air Force. Only if this command works and this command succeeds can the Air Force succeed. We do our wartime mission each and every day. We do all of the great work from the sustainment to the test to the research to the acquisition to the installation and mission support center. We do everything every day with the sole focus of making sure that America's true treasure, our sons and daughters, when we send them into harm's way, have a decided technological advantage, and we bring as many of them home safely as we can. That's our duty. That's our responsibility. If we want readiness, if we want faster and smarter, if we want to be able to build partners and allies, if we want to do any of those things that are called out that we need to do as an Air Force, we have to hit the ground running and we have to execute like that each and every day. You already are. We're coming into a great team. And we are so thrilled to be here to be a part of it. Just so all the airmen and the men and women know, We work for you. Our responsibility is to take care of you, to remove obstacles and get you resources. That's my job. My job is to carry the command forward when we go to things like I get to go to the privilege to do next week, Corona, and when we're in dollar fights, and when we're doing everything else. I work for you. I now just took on over 80,000 men and women that I work for. And I'm honored and privileged to get the chance to do it. You are the foundation. We need to take care of you. And that's our commitment, that we're going to work together as a team to be able to do that. We're honored. We're humbled. We're blessed. So with that, let me say, God bless the men and women of Air Force Materiel Command. God bless the United States Air Force, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, General Bunch. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of Air Force Materiel Command would like to welcome General Bunch and his family and look forward to their leadership. Please remain standing and join us in singing the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Give them the guns.